Hello and welcome back to the A to Z of Managing People. Today we're on to letter X, and X is about setting expectations with employees. Now, few of us like not knowing what's expected of us. It can lead to hesitation, uncertainty, and also knowing where our contribution fits in. It's so easy for us to assume that people, like, it's obvious that they should know what's expected, but unless we really check this out, this could lead to a lot of wasted time and effort or mistakes being made by the employee, and also a lot of frustration on our part. Now, when we're talking about expectations, there are two different aspects of this. There's expectations in terms of the tasks and actions that people need to do, but also in terms of their attitude and their approach to things. So, for example, we might have expectations around how people speak to customers, how well they support their colleagues. So it's important to spell those out, as well as the activities that people are going to be fulfilling. And in my book, there are sort of three key areas that need to be checked with employees in terms of our expectations. And these are, first of all, the what. So if we're putting that in the context of completing a task, is what is the task and what's going to be the measurement of success? What does good look like? So how will we know when it's done? Secondly is knowing or understanding what the contribution is. Why does that task need to be done? And this is not just necessarily about why does it need to be done in the context of the business and how it contributes to the business, but also why it might be important from the point of view of the whole team or for that individual themselves. And then the third area is the time frame. When does that task need to be done by? And the more specific we are about this, the better. Now, with timescales, quite often we have expectations which the employee thinks are unreasonable, or I can't possibly get that done in that time, I've got too many other things to do. So it needs to be something that is agreed and that they feel is reasonable time-wise. We also need to be quite specific in terms of as soon as possible isn't a time and it isn't a date. And we all know that as soon as possible quite often never comes. So it's important that we specify that. So those are three critical areas, setting expectations. And then there are some other things that may be important, those expectations. So where might that task take place? We might also need to specify who is involved. If, for example, it's a bigger project and lots of people are going to get involved, then defining who is responsible for what areas so that nothing gets missed, and also that there isn't doubling up. Now, the final question we're not asked is the how. How does that task get completed? And we don't necessarily always need to spell that out. By allowing some degree of flexibility, we're much more likely to get some buy-in and some ownership. Now, of course, there may be times when it's for legal reasons or health and safety reasons that things have to be completed in a certain way. But the more flexibility that we can allow, the better. Now, if that leaves you feeling a little bit uncomfortable because you're not quite sure that that task is going to be done in a way that you're going to be happy with, then the best thing to do is to get the employee to tell you how they're going to go about that task. And then that gives you an opportunity to take corrective action if it's needed. So expectations and setting expectations, people need to know the what, the why, and the when, and we may also need to specify the where, the who, and the how. So that's all for today for X and setting expectations, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.